How's this for a long-distance conversation? Over the weekend, an Ulster County man spent a few minutes talking to one of the cosmonauts aboard the Mir Space Station. Sound a little far-fetched? Well, it's not. Joe Gambino is live in the newsroom with this story. Joe?
That's right, Pauline. With the use of what he calls some fairly modest equipment, Kingston's Bruce Wistance did what many ham radio operators have been unable to do. He talked to men in space.
This is November 2, Zulu Alpha Charlie calling CQ. CQ, over.
Not an uncommon sound coming from an amateur radio operator, and on an ordinary night, Bruce says there often is no response. But this obviously was not an ordinary night.
I'm Radio R0MIR, Polikov Valery, and it's nice to contact with you.
It was quite exciting to me. The next day, the first thing I did, as soon as a reasonable hour after dawn, I called a friend of mine that I knew had once spoke to a U.S. astronaut, and he thought it was quite remarkable, too.
Bruce says he's fairly new at ham radio operation, but with the help of some experienced operators and a computer program that enables him to chart the location of the Russian space station, he says contact seemed rather easy, but the conversation was different.
I really didn't know what to say once I got him to answer my call. Later I thought of all sorts of things I should have asked him and should have said, but I was just so excited, and we were both trying to figure out how to communicate in English language.
So it wasn't eloquent, but it sure is something he won't forget for a long time.
73, I hope next orbit we will have contact. Bye-bye.
Pauline, I asked Bruce if he knew the cosmonaut's name, but he said with the broken English and the garbled transmission, he said it was kind of difficult for him to decipher it. But he says as long as that Russian space station keeps going around the orbit, he's going to try and contact it again, so maybe in the future he will be able to get his name.
Okay, very interesting. Thanks, Joe.
Okay.